Here we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the St. Patrick's Day version of Elevation Call. It is Lisa Bell Henson, and it's great to see everybody tonight. I wanted just to wish you guys a happy St. Patrick's Day, and also just ask you guys if you have heard the story of St. Patrick. Yes, I don't remember. I didn't really remember it, so I wanted to kind of share it with you. And just as we get started, I want to kind of lead into something that is really, really important for what we do here at Zalise. But St. Patrick, actually, that March 17th is the day of his death in 460 AD. So this is like long, long, long time ago, if you didn't know that. The other thing that's really interesting is St. Patrick was not Irish. And he was actually from Great Britain and came from a well-to-do Christian family. But when he was 16 years old, he was actually kidnapped by a group of Irish raiders. And they were very scary people who attacked his family's estate. And they transported him to Ireland. And he was in captivity for 6 years. So interesting to me. And he worked as a shepherd away from everyone. So he was very remote, almost like he was in exile. And he turned to his Christian faith for solace and prayed hundreds of times a day, got very close to God. But after 6 years as a prisoner, he had a vision. And an angel told him that he had done a great job with his fast and he was ready to go back home to Great Britain. So he had a miraculous ship appear. He escaped his captivity and went back to Great Britain. And then years later had another vision that he was to convert the Irish from their pagan ways. And so he eventually returned to Ireland and became an ordained priest. And he was the patron saint now of Ireland. So it was just a really interesting story that you may or may not be familiar with. But the thing that kind of struck me, and the reason I wanted to kind of start with this today, is that we sometimes find ourselves as a prisoner to something. And I want you to kind of maybe close your eyes or lower your eyes and kind of think about if there's ever been a time in your life where you have felt like a prisoner to something. It could be a soul-sucking job. It could be to mortgage payment. It could be to debt. It could be to grief. It could be to a medical issue like mobility, like extreme chronic pain, like an inability to sleep, depression, like a toxic relationship. But it kind of struck me because I think I've hit all of those at some point in my life where I felt that I was a prisoner to something. And so one of the things that we don't always realize is that Zalise provides a platform for freedom. And once you've experienced that freedom, it's hard to just talk about a product. But the health freedom is truly the easiest part of Zalise to access, because just a few drops under your tongue or some powder under your tongue for a day to 3 months, and your health can completely change. But the pursuit of income from this model and from this industry is what has most changed my life. And so because I have and am still learning what it means to bring my highest self to achieve my goals and fulfill my calling, I have had to have massive self-development. When I was introduced to this industry 20 plus years ago, I think about where I was in life, and I've had to have massive self-development, soul training, mindset reprogramming through books, people, mentors, speakers, and programs. And I would suggest to you that that is why you were on this call. It's not just because it's a required call for Zalise, but really, you're not done growing yet. And that is probably my very favorite part of Zalise. But what I want to ask you guys, and this is the question I have, what self-development platform do you love? Has there been a platform that you guys have utilized for self-development? Some of you might be just brand new to Zalise. Some of you guys might be more seasoned. is there a self-development platform that you guys have had success with? I'd love to just hear you shout it out. Um, if there's a platform, an author, a mentor who has been significant for you.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I hear you.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I listen to Audible a lot at work, and John C. Maxwell has so many good books on leadership, and that's the one I really like.
Gotcha. An Audible.
Yes, on Audible.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Kayla, can you hear
Yes,
me?
Kayla. Yeah, I can hear you, Kayla.
Jean, I agree with you. Ever since I finally got a chance to dig into John Maxwell after Bo Short's last meeting. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He's an
John
amazing man,
Maxwell.
and to find out he was a pastor, and I'm sure that's where a lot of his impetus comes from, is him being a pastor, and he's a Christian, and I think the man's terrific, but I also can see where Bo's remarks come from now.
That's awesome, Kayla. Thank you for sharing that. And I think Judy Baker was saying something.
Yes, the mastermind series that we did. I was thinking about that the other day, and I would love to have a chance to go back through that. I felt like I grew a lot during that.
Tell me what my mastermind series.
Yeah.
Oh, that we had to sign up for it. It was, oh gosh, it's been 2 years ago, maybe. The guy gave the, oh, I can't remember. I'm terrible with names.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to give you a minute to think about it, but just think about who was the teacher, the author.
He was, do you not remember? It was a series that we had to sign up for. He gave us assignments each week to do.
Oh yeah. Trying to think. Was that Rob? No.
Rob.
No.
No, that doesn't sound right.
You know what I mean?
It was an older gentleman.
Okay. Well, it will come to mind.
Okay,
Yes, Susan Everett.
so.
That was the one that Ginny Lusby led.
Gotcha.
I can't think of the guy's name. He's famous, but anyway.
He's famous, but he's not alive anymore.
I know. Well, and
but the teaching was still really good.
It was Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
No,
Bob
this
Proctor.
was This was one that there was one that we did sign up for, but it wasn't. It was somebody that you guys had brought in. And you had been working with them, because I remember they stopped me because I had a really rough day and I was trying to, go on and without it. And I forgot, but I remembered that day. Sorry, because I was just having a bad day.
Yeah, the one
so I know it wasn't
thinking of
any
Bob.
of those.
Bob Proctor. Okay.
Can you put that information in the chat, please?
Yeah, so you guys, those of you who are suggesting whatever mentor that you have had success with, please put it in the chat. Anybody else want to share? Got another minute to, yes, Susan, please.
Showing my age, it was Dennis Waitley on cassette tapes.
Dennis Waitley. And so isn't he still teaching?
I don't know. I haven't read anything of his in a long time, but he's the one that got me started on self-help. And one thing that I'll never forget, he said, don't sit on a couch watching people make millions of dollars when you can get up and get off the couch and make your own $1 million.
There you go. And very well said. So true. And I one of the reasons I was really attracted to this industry, coming from ICU nursing and just the negative of healthcare, and it was not a positive environment physically, mentally, or spiritually. And I was really attracted to the positive mindset of the direct selling industry. And so it's interesting. What I would describe self-development as a training program for the soul. And the reason why is because we don't see things the way that it is. We see it the way we are. And so you want to commit to some kind of training program to get the ability to transmute your biggest problems and the darkest days that you have into courage, enthusiasm, and faith in the future. And a great example of that is Bo Short. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have all heard Bo, the positive that he exudes, the confidence, the positive, and the kindness that he exudes me, he is like one of the best mentors that we have access to for self-development. But what I love the most about a commitment to self-development is closing the gap between who we are and the best version of ourselves, which in a platform like this, if we don't bring the best version of ourselves to the platform, we have zero success in what we do. And I think all of us would agree with that. Do you agree with that, Hal Henson?
I'm part of all of us. I do agree with
You
that.
do agree with that?
Yeah. Mhm.
And do you want to take it a step further as to our obligation?
Yeah, Lisa and I talked about this morning or this afternoon. It was this afternoon we talked about our elevation call tonight. She wanted to share this part that she shared with you all, and I stood out there because I just left another meeting, and I got here just in time to hear her talking about that and didn't want to interrupt. But all the self-development, the overcoming, the things that we learn to grow ourselves, um, I believe it's necessary, and we have to give ourselves, we have to dedicate ourselves, we have to like discipline ourselves to do those things and to set aside, I would say even extraordinary time, extraordinary effort to develop ourselves. And that's going to be applicable for everything in life. The more we do that, it applies to family, it applies to how you deal with your community, how you deal with the people that love you and that you love, how you relate. The benefit of that for yourself is applied to so many things. Of course, we're talking about it in terms of a platform like Zalise, that it's absolutely required that we grow personally to find success for ourselves. What the step further for me that I've seen over and over again is not just in Zalise. As a matter of fact, probably not too much in Zalise yet. I'm hoping that this changes. But where I've seen success is when we grow personally because someone's mentored us, helped us with what they've learned and how they've experienced their own personal growth. And then they share that with us. Individually, we work with them, they teach us, they help us through the tough times, and then we learn from them. But here's the critical point that so many people don't catch. You're never really going to have success in life until you're teaching it to others, until you're literally sharing it regularly with others, helping other people become the best version of themselves. And so that truly, what I was saying to Lisa, is really that's the platform that the direct selling industry gives. Self-development, super important. If you got a great product, like you talked about, it can be a standalone, it can impact your life, your health. You can make money in direct selling industry if you catch the wave right. If you've already done self-development before you get here, you can also earn income and change your life or other people's lives over time with self-development. But it doesn't stick. It doesn't stay with you. It doesn't um it doesn't grow until you take it on yourself to make sure you're sharing it. I don't mean sharing the story of Zalise. I don't mean sharing the products. I mean sharing the principles of your own self-development and what you've learned about growing as a human being and becoming the best version of yourself with other people. And in our platform, in Zalise, that opportunity is with the people that you personally have brought into the business and that you're going to help them to grow as a person. But I will say this, if you've not decided to do that for yourself, you really have nothing to offer other than a product or an introduction to us or an introduction to Zalise or their back office or all the things that kind of make up the other parts of Zalise. But until you personally have committed to self-development for yourself and you do the work to do that, then you have that piece of the platform to share with others. And that is what it means to really live with a purpose beyond a product experience, an income experience. It is really helping another person or other people individually or as a group, if you have a team, to become the best version of themselves. And I think that's one of the things that the platform of Zalise that I recognize, because I've seen it in other things in life. I mean, I literally just left a meeting that I've been involved in for 22 years, and that's the whole principle behind what that group does. Is without sharing it with others, then we really have no purpose. And it's not about the product, it's about the changing of lives and becoming the best version of ourselves. So that's kind of that was my response in our conversation with Lisa. And she goes, "Would you share that tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I just believe that's how it ought to be."
How can I ask a question?
Yes.
If you had to give an example using John Maxwell, what would be one thing, how do I say this, not to say to somebody, and one thing that would follow the philosophy of what you just said to say to somebody?
Are you
Like
asking
a
me,
script, give
Kayla?
me, yeah, uh-huh.
Well, I'd have to think about that. So
Because I know
I
John Maxwell will say, when I'm out with a friend, I'll ask them this, I wait for their response. And then that leads me to question, and he'll go down like bullet point by bullet point. And that lets them know about my own self-development and how by listening to my story, this can possibly happen to you. Do you have anything that you can suggest as a good scripting for us to also follow?
well, to be honest, I'm not that familiar with what John. I mean, I do so many, I study so many people. It's been a while since I've looked at John Maxwell, but a couple of things specifically to your question. Number one, John Maxwell is a great teacher. He's a great author. He's, like you mentioned, he's a former pastor, maybe still is. He developed a tremendous skill in communication. He developed it. Probably had some natural gifting, but he practiced it over and over. Bo Short's a great example of someone who's practiced the same message over and over and over and over and over and over. And I could go on for 30 minutes saying over and over again, and I still would not be saying it enough. Bo has developed, and y'all see this, he says the same things all the time. So scripting is the thing I would learn from those two men, is that stick with it, but keep it simple and repeat the same things. But I will say from John Maxwell, what I think is important is that you listen before you speak, and listen deeply. Many people listen thinking about what they want to say,
Exactly.
but most people do not truly listen to the other person. And that's, I think, really, really critical. And I think if I was sitting down with John Maxwell, one of two things would happen. Either he would talk the whole time or he would listen the whole time. And I don't know which is which. But when you're the one talking all the time, that's probably not the best approach. And that's why for us, for Lisa and I, these every other Sunday night elevation calls are really important to us. And hopefully they're important to you. But I would rather that you all were doing your own elevation calls
With your team.
With your team. Because you learn better when you teach others. You learn better when you learn whatever skill it is, when you're trying to communicate it better to others, especially basics, like shooting a basketball, how you hold the ball in your hand, how you turn your arm up, how you keep your elbow in, how you shoot your arm and bend your wrist over. You don't think about it when you're shooting. But when you're teaching a second grader how to shoot a basketball, you have some basic things that you're teaching that person or that child, the basics, and you're keeping it really simple. And until you're teaching other people, then you're not really growing into your best version of yourself. You're just taking in what's been given to you. And I think the principle, back to the John Maxwell, probably Bo, the term disciple, maybe in the Christian faith, and maybe not just Christian faith, but it wasn't about sitting and listening all the time. It was about teaching in order that they would do, and then share with others how they could do that as well and become the best version. So,
Lorena?
Yes, I'm going to, there is a book, and I think Hal and I have talked about it. It's called Skill with People. It's about a 30-minute book on Audible. It's an itty bitty thing. It's by Les Gibbons. I can't read because my glasses are on my head.
Les Gibbons.
Okay, Les Gibbons. It is a really short book, and I will go drop off Parker at school, but it talks about take me, my, and mine out of your vocabulary. Ask them, and it
Listen.
just it's very short and to the point, and I listen to it a lot. And Jane, we've been reading it, but it's really a good to the point book, and I find what they talk about is what the others do, where all the books with John Maxwell, that's just it's so much for me to take in. So this is something, and I can actually practice it when I go to, because I'll be going to the bunny house and I'll listen to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not the most important person in the room. Ask questions, So that's kind of so it's skill with
That's a
people
good point.
by
So it's a little bit more focused. One of the things
Yeah.
I've actually heard John Maxwell live. It was one of the first speakers that when I was in the direct selling industry, I actually heard him live. And I was kind of blown away by how easy he was to listen to and what great content. But what I remember is that he started retraining and reprogramming my mind from an employee that was spoiled to the mindset of a leader, which is more of a business owner. And it went from limited thinking to unlimited thinking. And he is a master at helping us understand the mindset we must have when we're leading a team of people.
Why don't you shift into the Brian Johnson piece?
Yeah, let me just add this, you guys, because I've been exposed to a lot of trainers, developers, the John Maxwells, and in modern times, over the last 3 years, the best personal training and personal development platform that I have seen in terms of its comprehensiveness, if that's even a word, is Brian Johnson. And I've mentioned it to you guys before. I've always been a subscriber to his newsletter. There's an app called Heroic that I've been, using because it has the best of great literature from the Stoics and all sorts of different philosophy. It has the best of science. It has the best of health and fitness. I mean, it is comprehensive. But he just came out with a book called Arete, and it is like huge, thick. But he has huge ideas and a very structured approach to becoming and activating the heroic potential in all of us. It's like the highest self. And there were 2 ideas I wanted to share with you guys today, because I'm just beginning this book, and it's big, but a lot of it I've heard and read before because I've been a student of his. And here's one thing. So I want you to write this down, because this is a journal prompt for you to think about when you have your quiet time, when you have your meditation. And this could be applicable to Zalise. This is a Zalise call. It's appropriate, but it could also be applicable to other areas of your life. So here's the question. Are you going through the motions, or are you going for mastery? Are you going through the motions, or are you going for mastery? And in my journey in the direct selling industry, I initially stuck my toe in the water, and I thought, I've been successful at a lot of other things. I can do this. And I landed flat on my face. I had a bad attitude. I thought it was stupid. I'm like I came from the pharmaceutical industry where we had like shrimp, catered meals, and we didn't even get a bathroom break when we went to meetings in the direct selling industry. No food, like it was all on us. And I'm like, we need catheters and we need meals, because we don't get breaks. And so, excuse me, if you're not a nurse, you don't know what a catheter is.
Yeah, they do.
Hopefully you don't know what they are. But anyway, so I just I had an employee mindset. And so I just remember feeling like I was just starting to kind of go through the motions, and I did not realize what it would take for me to develop mastery. I was an ICU nurse. So for me, everything had kind of come easy. Patients come to you. You don't have to go build your business. You don't have to build your business from scratch. And so I had to learn And it took me years and years and years. I mean, literally 13 years in that first business. And I was average, pretty average. I mean, I was probably break even with what I spent on the products and the training. I broke even with the income that I got. So not real impressive. But when I was introduced to Zalise, that all changed because I had done 13 years of self-development. And I decided that I was sick and tired of being average. I wanted mastery. And I was very willing to be mentored, and I was willing to do whatever it took because I knew that it was all about me. I was by myself. I was face down from a family standpoint. I was supporting myself. I had no health insurance. I had huge debt, and I had motivation. So it was a completely different scenario for me. And so mastery has been my goal from day one. And just want you guys to kind of reflect on how you feel. Are you going through the motions? Are you going for mastery with Zalise in particular? And then the second thing I want to share with you is a very encouraging statistic. And that's that discipline outpredicts IQ and other abilities by a factor of 2 in success in school and in life. So discipline outpredicts IQ and ability in success with success in life by a factor of 2. So that means you don't have to be smart. You just have to be disciplined enough to do some very simple things over and over and over again. As Hal said, 10,000 hours consistent over and over again. So it's more about discipline than it is smarts. And on that note, I want to recognize the leaderboard because I want Hal to do that for us. These are people who have just started their journey or are just crushing it in their journey. And the reason we use the leaderboard is not to say that people who are not on this list aren't working. It's that it's a recognizable way that our job in this business is to generate volume. So we're looking for new volume, or we're looking for repeat volume. New volume is recognized on the leaderboard. And we have 2 leaderboards.
New enrollments.
New enrollments is new volume. Really, it's the lifeblood of our business. The other leaderboard is personal volume, which once you have and acquire products, you can go and sell those. So a lot of retailers, a lot of doctors, spas, salons are on the personal volume leaderboard. But we use the leaderboard for personal enrollments as a biomarker of who is doing the work, having the courage, overcoming their own obstacles, their own head trash, who is really developing, going from going through the motions to working to develop mastery. And so, Hal, I'm going to ask you to recognize those people.
Very good. Starting at we got a bunch, so hang on. At number 18, out of Illinois, Sharon Campisi. At number 17, who is this?
Megan Dickens.
Megan Dickens, out of Indiana.
Woohoo!
I can't read your writing.
Whoops, sorry.
Kayla Malone at number 16, out of Pennsylvania.
Kayla.
Linda Painter out of Arkansas, number 15. Number 14, we're going right down the line, 18 through. Okay. Number 14, Beth Plumley out of Arkansas.
Yep.
Barbara Durkee, number 13, out of Arkansas.
Yay.
Number 12, Susan Everett out of Indiana. Christina Durham, number 9, out of Indiana.
Christina.
Nancy Davis out of Arkansas, who, by the way, we understand rolled a gold yesterday.
Yep.
All right.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And then Hal and Lisa at number 3 out of Arkansas. That's like the top 25 in the U.S.
Because our goal is mastery. That's my goal.
Yes. And then 25, Dr. Steve Todd this is the personal volume. Kelly Etzel at number 21. Congratulations. I see Kelly on there.
Kelly.
Linda Painter at number 20. And then David Kokenauer out of Kansas. So congratulations, everyone. Good leaderboard. Hey, listen, what are we on the 17th? Oh, yeah. It's St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted just to share with you guys. And one of the things that I love about this team is that we are a mastermind. We are a mastermind together. Everyone comes with a different background, different training. Lorena and Jean, I'm looking at them. They have Penelope behind them. That is their bunny. They're in bunny rescue. They know tons about small animals. Marcia Smith, holistic nurse coach. She has a whole different expertise. The beautiful thing about us being transparent about our business, the good things that we can applaud and the challenges that we like, we lock arms and we get through together, is that we learn from each other. And one of the opportunities that I had this week for the first time, some of you guys have seen on Team Unlimited that Beth Plumley and I had an appointment with her pain management doctor. And it's literally the first time, 7 years for me. I see a little pup there. Aw, Linda. Is that Bo? Yeah, she's showing us Bo. This is the first opportunity that I've had literally to be invited into a pain management practice. And what we didn't know is that they had a medical marijuana dispensary attached to that. And so Beth's enrollment here that put her on the leaderboard was enrolling the bud tender on the dispensary. And let me just kind of give you a little setup from that. Like, I didn't really know what one was, but somebody had to explain to me that, oh, you know what a bartender is, right? Well, a bud tender is a marijuana bartender. And they're the ones that are the experts on the marijuana product line. And in Oklahoma, where we were, marijuana is completely legal.
Yeah, in many ways, and you drive down the highway and
You
there's
smell
signs
it.
every 2 miles in anyway.
And so they're overwhelmed with marijuana. And so it's just really interesting to see that this dispensary was attached to a pain management clinic. And it's kind of a long story because Beth, as you might have seen in her video, she has suffered from chronic migraines. And she had an implantable neurostimulator, like put in her chest like a pacemaker, in order to decrease the migraines that she had. They were like 5 days a week. She could not function because of her migraine headaches. And so this happened in 2011. It had a 9-year battery life. I met her in 2020 and this thing was dying. And so she she had 3 migraines or more a week. And, I dosed her pre-pandemic, like right in the middle of the place that we met. And she now has 4 migraines per year. And she just went back to get this neurostimulator thing out. And the doctor said, "What is your level of pain?" And she said 0. And he said, "How, really? Like, what are you doing?" And she said, "I've been using Ultracell and CBG." And he goes, I would like for you to come and do a little training on that for our staff. Well, we were like so excited that we're like, so Tulsa's 2 hours from where I live. And we got all prepared. Like, what are you bringing? What am I bringing? Let's bring handouts for the staff. Get to the pain clinic. We're supposed to be teaching from 11:30 to 12:30. And we get all dressed up. Like, that doesn't happen to me every day. So here we are sitting at the pain clinic, 11:30, 11:35.
The basement.
The basement is where they had their beautiful training facility and their kitchen. But we were sitting at 11:30, 11:35, 11:40. And I look at Beth and I go, "At what time are you going to go ask them where they are?" And she says 11:45. So at 11:45, she goes up and I can hear the conversation with the office manager. And the office manager was saying basically, "Look, you said you were going to bring lunch and you didn't."
40 people.
And I was like ready to go run up there and charge somebody and gouge their eyes out, because I never would have signed up for that. Like, we are not a pharmaceutical company. Don't ever feel like you have to be a pharmaceutical rep.
Take notes. Do not take people meals.
Don't
give it away.
I would have brought a doctor one healthy meal, but I will not feed the staff. They can care less about what we're doing. And so they're not decision makers, right? So Beth comes back. She was so apologetic to the office manager. She's like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Don't apologize. Stop it." And I was like, slap, slap, slap. So we basically just did a sit-in. We sat in the chairs and people started filtering in with their own lunch. And we had great conversations. 2 nurse practitioners, a medical assistant. And then the nurse practitioners were like, you need to meet the bud tender. And so that's when the bud tender came in, and she's incredible. Like, she told us her whole story. She was a chronic pain patient, young chronic pain patient. Pharmaceuticals had done horrors to her, and she was looking for an alternative. So she was introduced to medical marijuana. She said, what we know is that high THC content is not good for people. And so when she saw CBD and CBG from agricultural hemp, it took her a minute to wrap her mind around what that meant. And she signed up as a VIP customer on the spot. She wanted that CBD and CBG. And we did a little cost comparison, and she's like, how much is it? And she said, this is actually, ours is cheaper than medical marijuana. Like what we can provide at wholesale for somebody with our CBD, CBG, which is from agricultural hemp, has no downside and no restrictions as a dietary supplement. They were all about it. And so we started comparing product lines. She was doing a little teaching. We were showing her what we were doing. She was very interested in CBN, which is R&R, which we are going to be launching probably by May again. And she was also interested in Body Better because they had never seen a CBD, CBG type of skin care that was, not so much skin care, but for the skin. And so here we had this wonderful exchange. The doctor never did come, which was very interesting. We saw him. He kind of came in and out. He was on the phone and stuff like that. But we learned a lot. We learned that there is a great value, even in a medical dispensary, for our product line, that we are cost effective and there's no pushback and no downside, because THC, guys, is the intoxicant that makes marijuana. It makes it difficult from it's controversial at best. It has its limited uses, but you have to be super, super careful with medical marijuana. So it very, very interesting. Yes, absolutely. We'll go through and look at the chat here in a minute. But so Beth's enrollment this month is really that bud tender who is now on CBD and CBG, and we're hoping she has a positive product experience. But it was very educational, even though it did take the entire day. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because that's what I mean. Collectively, we all learn together. And so if anyone else has anything they would like to share on what you've learned this week, this month, about Zalise, where our products fit, or anything like that, all of you guys that are on the leaderboard,
chat real quick.
Definitely have a story to share. And I'm looking at the chat. So if you guys have something you'd like to share, please shout it out.
Lisa, what was the name of the book that you said Brian Johnson came out and it's big and thick?
Arete,
How do you spell that?
A-R-E-T-E.
A-R-
A-R-E-T-E.
I put it in the chat.
Okay. Oh, Linda Christensen, my vet may be interested in finding out about Zalise for animals. Yes, Bo died last Saturday. We hate to hear that. And that's the other thing is, for animals.
That's her dog, Bo.
Yeah, Bo the dog.
Right.
Beau. But Linda Christensen, that's where it helps to have a mastermind of people who are really animal specific. And Kayla has learned a ton about animals. Anybody else that feels like they really love, like Lorena with small animals has done a lot of great work. Animals, it's kind of a subset, obviously, but there's a certain level of expertise that can go with that. And so anybody else want to share? I want to shout out to Linda Painter, who continues, Linda, to host events for her team.
There's a great video that her and Randall did that you posted the other day. And Randall shared a little bit of his story too.
Randall's was super funny.
Is that who is that? No, I see
it's Maribel.
That's Maribel, and Randall's in the far background. Wave, Randall. I see you back there, way in the background.
Randall, did you see your video? Because you're pretty funny in it.
He's funny all the time.
He is funny. But anyway, I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity. If y'all want to share anything that you have learned, anybody that you've enrolled that you would like to share, any kind of results. This is really where the team mastermind learns from each other.
Well, this is Kayla. I'm yakety yak. Veterinarian, my specialty. I had a close friend, veterinarian. She didn't want me to put anything in her lobby. I called the Pennsylvania Vet Association. I didn't get anywhere. I thought, I'll call the National Association. Called Colorado. they have no problem with her practicing free speech, and I can put now in her lobby anything I want to regarding Zalise and CBD. Now, going back to Joshua, I'm the transplant nurse. I have a little bit of a different takeaway from my nursing experience because I worked with doctors who were trying new things, knowing that new things could work. I came out of my nursing experience with excitement and a ton of very detailed clinical knowledge. I'm now transferring that over to the vet world. My veterinarian toenails last week, we're on our 3rd reduction of anesthesia compared to what Joshua had. He came out looking like a drunk sailor and couldn't get awake for 6 hours. He was in there 45 minutes, came out, hopped into the van, up and awake, good to go. And that's only because I pushed though. And I said, lower the anesthesia. He's on hemp. Keep lowering it down. So I have good friends in the vet world, Dr. John Bonagora. I have him as my backup. So anybody that needs help with veterinarians, I think I can crack their shell.
Yeah, and Kayla, you're also up on the literature. And if you guys didn't catch that, Kayla's kept me in the loop on this, but her big dog, Joshua, who's a beautiful, you can see him on that picture, big bull mastiff. The first time that he had his toenails clipped under anesthesia using, Kayla, you're using CBD. What all are you using for Joshua?
Right now he's on CBD, CBG, and he's on Dream in the morning, and he gets Dream at night and 1 drop of R&R
Okay.
at night.
That sounds just like me. That's what Lisa doses me with. Exactly,
Well, there
Kayla.
you go.
Exactly the
you
same thing.
Do you need some toenails done there, Hal?
Actually, I can still do my own, but I know there's coming a day I won't be able to.
Okay.
But Kayla, just to make sure that people know what you're saying is that he is not required as much anesthesia with the hemp products that he is using consistently, which has helped modify his behavior. Correct, Kayla?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll be real honest with you. Josh is 135 pounds. His jaw has more PSI than a pit bull. You can see his picture. He bit me twice. I got him as a puppy from Colorado. Bad upbringing. I'm fully convinced of that. And if he hadn't come to me 40 years in bull mastiffs, another owner would have put him down. And I have saved him and worked with him, and he's not perfect, but then neither am I, so we tolerate each other. But he's much, much better. But the fact that less anesthesia, the lungs, the heart, the kidneys, the liver are not filtrating that toxic drug.
mm,
And then I also found something else I'll share it with anybody who wants to know about a wonderful dog food, but message me about that privately. That I found a great dog food.
okay, thank you for that. And so, yeah, so Linda Christensen, Kayla will be a great resource for you as you kind of, navigate the vet world. And that's kind of the beautiful thing. Back to the change in me, I remember when I was introduced to direct selling, I was not really motivated or interested in sharing with people that weren't directly benefiting, that I wasn't benefiting financially from. And that was one of the areas of personal growth for me. I was like, hey, if you want my information, you can actually join my team. And what we've learned through Zalise, and fortunately our compensation plan is different in Zalise, that we have bonuses that we're actually paid globally on the revenue that everybody generates together. So, but one of the things that I want you to think about as you go about your daily work with Zalise is, are there any lessons that you could share and speak and breathe into this group that other people would benefit from? Because this is where we all learn together. Christina.
Hey, so this last week, I was able to use a few different things that I've learned with Zalise, but over what I've learned in the last couple of years with about MS, Parkinson's, cancer, different autoimmune, I was able to kind of get into cancer pathways with a connection that I made years ago, a lady that I worked with, and was able to get in there and educate them on just hemp and essential oils and how essential oils are not very far off from hemp when we look at it and really break it down as far as terpenes and things like that. So I'm able to kind of do an overview with them that leads them into the hemp side. But what was really cool was the meeting changed. We only had about 3 people show up out of 6, which is fine. Because it's still 3 people I didn't have to bring to a room by myself. So that's exciting. And then just talking to people that get there early. So I was able to really listen to this lady's story. She was diagnosed with MS when she was 21. They didn't really know about it. And just through the conversation that I had with her, she finally asked her doctor, what good are you? Like, why don't we look for symptoms? Or why don't we look for, sources? Why do we just treat the symptoms of everything? Why did you even go to school? And he's like, I just went to school to learn how to dispense pills. That's it, really. And she's like, man, so she's lived like this forever. Depression is something, she battles. Her husband deals with a lot of pain. So through the conversation and the little tippet that Tina had put in their newsletter that went out to tell them that I was going to be there, she actually put that CBD, because of our conversation, can be used to help with some of the side effects from medications. So she kind of queued it up for me well enough going in. But this lady read that and thought to herself, after I leave this meeting today, I'm going to the health food store and I'm going to buy some CBD because I haven't been able to sleep and I don't know how long. And she's like, so that's what I'm going to do. And so, but it led me to the question, listening to her and, hearing that side effects and pills, I'm like, because I try to toe a line because I'm not supposed to sell anything while I'm there. So, but I'm just like, have you thought of CBD? And she's like, actually, and that's when she told me that she was going afterwards. So she looked at me, she wasn't leaving until I got CBD out of my bag. So I had a CBD, CBG, the 15 mil. So that's going to have to switch out with the bag. But it was the last one that I had. She was going to buy it right there on the spot. She was going to buy it anyway. So I was able to educate her before she walked out the door of what she had in her hand. She took 1 dose. So don't be afraid to give people a sample. She took 1 dose, and really it was only 2 drops because I didn't want to give her too much with her driving and everything else and not knowing. And she just kind of said in the conversation, I actually feel it. She could just feel it slowly going down through her body. And we're talking back and forth, and she felt it in her legs. And she's like, I even feel it in my legs. Well, there was still a lady over here on the other side listening to this whole conversation because she wasn't leaving yet because she wanted my card. And so make sure you have cards with you. Make sure you got a way to get people your number or get their information from them. But she was like, here, I want to try it now. So I, gave her a dose right there. And she was like, I do feel just more calm, just that relax, which a lot of people feel. They just don't know how to say or do it. But I queued it up because, like Bo says, these are the things that some people feel immediately, and some people it takes a little while. So, just having that conversation. But I had to use my blessing bonus. I went ahead and used it because my square would not work. Technology was not cooperating. And I just kind of listened to all the signs, and I'm like, all right, I'm here. We had a conversation about hemp. She was going to buy it anyway. I'm not letting her leave here without this in her hand, because if I don't step in now, who knows where she might end up. So was able to give her that, use the blessing bonus, explain to her that I was able to give it to her because we have that ability to do that. And I'm going to talk to her and her husband this week, but they have been on CBD now is day 4, 5. And she's like, he is walking a little bit straighter. So I'm going to be really excited to hear their testimony when I go and see them on Tuesday afternoon and really talk to them and educate him now on what she learned. So it was just this really cool full circle part of what Zelise is and the platform that we have to be able to use for business.
That's awesome, Christina. And kudos to you for finding an innovative way to get the information into people's hands. And kudos to you for using your blessing bonus to change another life. So there's something really, really interesting about certain people with chronic degenerative diseases, because at Linda's house, one of our users, her name is Kathy. I'm trying to remember exactly who. Linda, who was at your house? Oh, Kim Hull. Yes. Kim was actually at our house like 4 years ago, and we dosed her with CBD and CBG, and she was just like that, Christina. She felt that just like we videoed her, and she goes, oh my gosh, I can actually move my neck, and oh my gosh, I can feel it. She could actually feel it. And then life got in the way, and she's recently gotten back on product again. And she's like, she came to Linda's lunch. She lives 5 minutes from Linda Painter. Who would have thunk that? And so it's just, what's beautiful when you host a meeting, or when you're willing to share and give like that, you bless a lot of people, and it gives people kind of a place to learn more about this. So thanks to Linda for hosting, and Christina for sharing.
What did you say about discipline earlier? You remember? That there's more power in discipline, like two times.
Than
So
intelligence.
2 times the factor of intelligence, skill, whatever. So all of us, and the people that join in the future, and people who miss this call and listen to it later, become more educated. See, school and jobs are about education, but that's about the extent of it, honestly. But the practical discipline of developing your is a personal commitment, and the personal discipline of getting out there and engaging with people in the world with the intent of serving them, but also building your business at the same time. You learn to balance how to do that. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes we go out enthusiastically to try to build business because we have something new and exciting to share. We want to earn income. We want to be successful, and we get out of balance. So the discipline is getting back into balance and not hiding in a shell or saying, oh, I did that. I did my one meeting and 10 people came and nobody signed up, and I'm going back home, not doing it again or whatever. The discipline of showing up, discipline of showing up on a regular basis. And then with that, you have the opportunity to teach that to other people over time, not overnight. That's one of those favorite statements. It's what we have seen. There are those instantaneous successes, like 2 drops. Y'all just talked about it with the health product. There are also those instantaneous financial successes. Those happen from time to time. But the daily discipline, the daily work, the daily growth over time, not overnight, is really what you'll be teaching other people as time goes by. And all of that, in the middle of that, there is a self-development that comes as a result of doing a platform like this. So, that's what we end up sharing with them.
So I have 2 things. First of all, I want to share my last story of what can happen when you just discipline yourself to continue to make your funnel. I've been in the business almost 7 years. You think everybody I know that's connected with me on social would know what I'm doing, right? Wrong. So I disciplined myself to make my list, make my funnel, at a time where I felt like I just didn't have a lot going on with new business. I reached out to a woman that I used to do that first business that I did for 13 years with, and I haven't talked to her probably in 10 years. Just wanted to reconnect. I didn't say, hey, I want you to know about my business. I said, hey, it's been forever. You popped up on my social feed. I would love just to hear what's going on with you. And in that conversation, she shared with me that she and her husband, she's 81 now. She's like, they're dealing with a lot of chronic illnesses. And so in that conversation, she was open to she was open to looking at the webinar that I did on CBD and CBG, just kind of the balance your health webinar. And it's 43 minutes. I tell people, look, it took me 7 years to do this. And I'm shrieking 7 years into 43 minutes. So I'm saving you time. And she watched it and she said, hey, we're interested. Make a long story short, we got she and her husband on CBD and CBG liquid, which I believe is the best, crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's great for people who are compromised in any way, on medication, whatever. And I got a text from her. I was sharing it with Hal on Friday. She's like, hey, I'm here in Seattle and my siblings want to hear about this. And I had not really found that she had had insomnia. And I talked to a lot of people. I couldn't tell you exactly. I thought she had some pain syndromes, but she had not slept in years. And she's sleeping through the night with CBD and CBG. You've heard it before. But she told her siblings in Seattle, and I ended up doing a Zoom with 4 different family members. And she had no interest in the business, but she allowed me to personally sponsor 2 of her siblings as VIP customers, which is how we got to be number 3 on the leaderboard. It's leaving no stone unturned. And it's really doing the next right thing. And it's not that I'm trying to prospect those people necessarily. I'm just trying to see how we can serve.
So I'll finish the call. Is that okay?
With that quote.
Oh, well, you say it. No.
Okay, here's my quote, and then Hal's going to close us. And this really, I think this is so appropriate for Zalise. Slow success builds character. Fast success builds ego. Ratan Tata is the person who said that. So go ahead.
So what I was going to say is that I think I want to say for all of us, including me, and I'm going to edify my wife here for a minute, but she can tell you what she does, and she just did. She told you what she did. But she tells you that to share with you how she has been successful in helping other people and how we've been able to generate income and live with purpose. So help other people with their health and their finances if they want that, to help them grow personally, but also to live with purpose. And so we share these things with you. But if she was not doing them, if she wasn't doing them, if we weren't doing them on the daily, weekly, whatever, if we weren't doing these things, we really would have no experience to share. And so that is the same with everyone in this kind of industry who wants to make an impact and live with purpose, is you just keep showing up into the world, into your world in which you live, which today, if you take advantage and develop some social media, it doesn't mean if you're not good at it, you don't feel like you're good at it or confident with it. You have to develop that too. There's a lot of development that goes on. And so we just want to encourage you that you're being mentored, not by what we say, but you're being mentored by what we do. So anyway, that's what we're going to end the call tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Kayla, you have you want to share your numbness improvement?
Yeah, I was thinking of Christina. Probably not everybody knows, but here goes. I'm surviving 7-year history of ovarian cancer. Been through everything, been through the mill, went through a clinical trial. They made me numb from my pelvic region to my toes. That picture you see of me, that was a year ago. I've been in a wheelchair for a whole year due to traditional chemotherapy. I can't feel my legs. I can't walk. But the numbness, I started on my CBD about August, Lisa, August. I'm now numb from my knees to my toes, not from my pelvic region to my toes, from my knees to my toes. And I accredit it to CBD. And then, do I tell them about the wound care thing, Lisa?
Yeah, Kayla, please do.
Oh,
really
boy,
important.
You guys are hearing everything. Let's see. Let me tell you about my ex-husband, too. Maybe you'd like to hear about that.
No, thanks.
We got our own.
That's a different kind of wound care.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's the kind. I need a good ABD to just suffocate it. But anyhow, I ended up getting squamous cell carcinoma, skin cancer, right anterior lower leg. I'm such a transplant nurse. Right lower leg, I go in, I self-diagnosed myself. I gouged out part of it myself in my kitchen, and I looked at the bottom of the wound, and I said, holy heck, I have cancer in my leg. And I got a path report done. I went through all that and had 22 radiation treatments. Has anybody had radiation on their leg? Raise your hand. Or anywhere you get a burn. I had a burn, horrible. I've never had such pain. It's like being in a burn unit. The tingling, whatnot. Joshua, he didn't even want to go near my leg. I didn't blame him. So I go to wound care clinic, and they're all traditional medicine. I said, hey, I'm on CBD. I'm on this wonderful CBG product. And my wound's starting to heal. Finally, the nurse practitioner, she paid attention. She said, you came to us, Kayla, with a history of cancer, lymphedema, a side effect of chemo, neuropathy, a side effect of chemo, poor circulation, compromised immunosuppression system. You came to us with a mess. If this wound doesn't heal, we are talking possible amputation. And I said, that won't happen. And so I went through the wound care treatments, and she said the last time, 2 times ago, she said, I cannot believe how well this wound is healing. I said, I told you so, but you wouldn't listen to me. So now she's now permitted me to put raw CBD around the open areas of my leg. She gave me permission to do that. I'm getting a summary of my care, the wound care. She's taking it to the higher ups in the healthcare system to possibly have it incorporated into their care. But it's because I have a big mouth. I really do.
Kayla, it's because you're courageous enough to share. And thank you so much. It hurts my feelings just to know the pain that you've gone through with Western medicine treatments and, starting with ovarian cancer that made you, confined to a wheelchair, the side effects of that original treatment. But it is a beautiful story to see the healing that you are having, which surprised the heck out of those guys enough to let you share about the product.
You tell people, look, if they want to call me, I'm a testimony. It's helped me. Now, neuropathy, wound care, no amputation. Joshua is no longer a piranha. He's a happy dog. I mean, I'm amazed myself. I'm so fortunate that Lisa came on board with the job I had, and she kind of liked me, and she reached out, and I became a Zalise girl.
Kayla, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you
You're
all
welcome.
for sharing tonight and for being on the call. And congratulations.
I do have another question for Christina. Christina, are you still using your tap card? Because I noticed earlier when you were talking, you were giving out your business cards as well. Are you doing both?
When I am in one of those settings, I can't use my tap card necessarily because I can't leave it to my site. I have to have that conversation off site. So they actually have to call me in order for me to have that conversation with them. So in those situations, I do my business card and then I use the tap card in other situations outside of that.
That's a rare situation though, right, Christina, in that particular case?
Yeah, you can do either.
I mean, that kind of group.
In that kind of group, yeah.
What kind of group was it?
It's just through the MS Association.
Oh,
it's one of their
MS
like luncheon
Society.
things, just education.
Now, you know what? We have somewhere, Christina, we have our rec center, and we can't sell stuff there, but we could teach about the CBD possibly in the endocannabinoid system. Is that kind of what you're doing?
Yeah, but here I was butting up against the MS Association, Parkinson's Association, Cancer Pathways. They didn't want to lead with hemp. So I was trying to figure out a way. So I kind of went back to the essential oils and I started really digging in. And terpenes is a way. It led me to like PubMed. Terpenes are in essential oils. And so I kind of combined the two things together to lean the other direction and just kind of have a little more leeway that way. Once I really open up the can of worms. Once I'm in there, they don't care. I just can't lead with that. So it was a way for me to get around that bubble.
Here's another thing just to share with you guys. When we were in Mexico with some of the top leaders, there's a leader that's really working hard in Europe right now, and she lives in Michigan. And I talked to Marcia about this because she goes across the border to Canada, and she actually will bring product. And what she is doing is she's doing educational events for, like, she'll do for the Parkinson's Association. That's one of the groups that she's done. And what she teaches them is how to pick a CBD. I mean, that's the topic that she will teach on. And so she's making it very generic until the very end when they're like, hey, which brand do you recommend? And then she'll say, she'll talk about Zalise, and she will sell retail in those settings and to start out, just to get people using product.
Is she going from Michigan to Canada or vice versa?
She lives in Michigan and she will bring things across the border to Canada and sell it. Yeah. And so, I mean, and just a different topic, but we do talk about how do you start a new country? And the way you start a new country, if you're smart, is you make sure there's at least $100,000 of volume that's flowing into that country, that there is demand before you open it as a company. And so just saying that, anyone who's close to Canada,
if you're going to do
keep that in mind. Yeah.
But that's
right. We didn't have any say about that.
I have another. I didn't know that I didn't know you could text your tap card to other people's cell numbers.
Yes, Kayla, tell us what you learned.
I learned I can text my tap card to other people's. I didn't know that. It came up on my phone one day, Elify, and I looked at it. Oh, I recognize that name. And there was my account on my phone. And I thought, I'm going to see if I can text this to myself. And I did. And I texted it to a friend. And I thought, if they're in another state, you can't have them physically have the tap card with, you can in another state. Like John Bonagora, I texted it to one of his vet friends this weekend.
Well, so
And
here's what you can do,
you
guys.
explain the process.
Tap your own card. I mean, tap your own phone, and then you'll get the link, and you can save the link in your notes, or you can actually send it to someone else. So it's just a link. Really, at the end of the day, you don't have to have the physical card in order to share the link. That's
Then
great.
I
I've
have
shared it
another.
on Facebook too, Lisa. You can attach it to,
Yeah.
you can attach it to, copy and paste it into your message.
That's
So they can
awesome.
click
So
on
you
it.
guys heard it from Deb. So to say that again, Deborah,
You can copy and paste
that
that
link.
the link and put it into your message wherever you want to post something about product or whatever. You can put it at the very end of your post, and they can
That's
click
good.
on it.
That's good to
And then
know.
I found out another thing on research from Dr. Bonagora. He gave me the code. If anybody wants it, just message me or whatever. And it's how to put in a certain like letter and then and this and that. And then rather than getting just abstracts, if you're interested in this, Christina, the abstract from PubMed NIH, you actually can dig in and possibly get the entire article without having to pay $30
That's good to know.
for if
See,
anybody's big into research.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording and hold on just 1 second.